Oh my gosh, y'all. Get in here, get in here, get in here. I haven't posted for you guys in forever. I've had this recipe in the chamber for a long time, so it's finally being released. This is my Tuscan shrimp fajita pasta dish, and it's mainly using all these ingredients. Right there, I just showed you all the ingredients I use to season my raw shrimp, but for the most part, I love Aldi's. I know it used to be a thing back in the day where shopping there was embarrassing, I guess. But me, I love the deals. Like, I have so much shrimp that I use for like maybe $9. And I don't think this was the whole pack. This was probably like half of the pack. So, yeah, just disclaimer that this meal was very, very affordable. And I had a lot of leftovers. So let's get into the recipe. So I started off with a hot pan and I'm melting some butter. I'm using a nice amount of butter because this is an Alfredo dish. So anything that's cream based, the butter is going to emphasize the flavor. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook my shrimp. Not overcook it because that's no good. So as soon as it starts to get that color on both sides, you can take it out the pan because carryover cooking will happen. So these are some last minute adjustments. I decided to try to turn it a little blackened, and then I added some paprika for color as well. So I'm flipping it over instead of just stirring it all in the pot because I want everything to cook evenly and properly. And that's how my final result looked. I know you see that seasoning. You see all that juice from that seasoning? Delicious. We're not going to get rid of that. So I'm just going to just scrape it a little bit so it won't stick too heavily to the pan. And then I'm adding a little bit more butter because this is the next step where my fajita portion of the recipe comes in. I have my green peppers and red onions. Really, this was stuff that I already had in the household. Like, all these vegetables were on the verge of going bad soon. So this is a perfect meal for that, to just add in whatever vegetable that you have. And then you can come up with whatever creative name you like. So I'm getting that stirred into the butter. Adding a little bit of black pepper. And once it's translucent, I'm adding in this cooking wine. Because before I place the peppers in the pan, I don't know if you've seen like the seasoning juice kind of sticking to the pan. That's called fond. So this wine helps emphasize the flavor, give it a nice flavor, and it also helps me get the fond off of the pan, which also increases the flavor. So I'm just scraping it, and the pan needs to still be hot, of course, in order for this to work. So you put a little bit of the cooking wine in there, and then you scrape. And now I'm adding in my garlic paste. I'm going to mix it all together. I didn't add too many seasonings to the vegetables because the sauce is going to be predominantly seasoned. So my rule of thumb that I usually use, I say however much pasta I'm cooking, I just eyeball my sauce. Meaning I pour as much heavy cream that I feel is needed, that I know will cover up the sauce. Cover up the noodles generously, because I don't like dry pasta, or I don't like stingy sauced pasta, if that makes sense. So now you're going to let that simmer probably for about, I'd say like maybe 8 minutes. 5 to 8 minutes. And I don't like mild pasta half the time. So I'm adding cayenne pepper. So this is very optional. If you like spice, the more cayenne you will add. If you don't like spice, don't add cayenne at all. Just add a little Creole. This is where the Tuscan part comes in. I'm adding spinach. Once again, just needed to get rid of these vegetables. And then my favorite, lobster base. This is probably my favorite bouillon flavor from that brand. But all of their flavors are pretty delicious. But this lobster base just does something different every time. And then I'm adding the shredded Parmesan cheese. The more cheese that you add, the more thicker the sauce will get. So just be mindful of that. I don't add a lot. And you can always taste and add a little bit later, versus adding too much and then having to like smooth out and thin out your sauce. See that consistency? That's like perfect to me. Now this is the part where you taste as you go. This is a personal pasta, so that's why I tasted it like that. And as you can see, I added some more Creole seasoning. And you just taste it to your liking. I wanted it a little bit more spicier, so I added some more cayenne pepper. And realistically, I don't know why I had the heat so high. Make sure you just keep it at a simmer, because the higher the heat can also thicken up your sauce more than what it needs to be. So just keep it on a nice simmer. So my pasta noodles are done. I'm adding my cherry tomatoes at the end. No need to add it too soon because then it'll turn mushy. And I'm just incorporating all of that, mixing it in that pasta. Yum. Are you team cream based or are you team tomato based? Let me know in the comments. And due to what I said earlier about me literally boiling the sauce instead of simmering it, I'm adding some more heavy cream in there. And some black pepper. And once again, stirring it all in. Yummy. Adding a bit more lobster base. Just showing you all the process of tasting as you go. Because I feel like some people just follow a recipe and then get mad, like, oh, it was nasty, because they didn't like personalize it to their liking. So here's some garlic breadsticks that I've never tried before from Aldi's. I just wanted to show you all what it looked like. And then there's my shrimp. Once my sauce is perfected with the noodles added, everything is great. And then I add the shrimp on top, because adding it too soon will overcook your shrimp. I was gonna mix it in, but I'm like, let me get it a little selfie because it looked good on top. Once again, those are the breadsticks. I'm gonna give those breadsticks probably like a 6 out of 10 because they were dry. When I showed y'all fresh out the package, I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be good, but it was dry to me. So I would say try a different brand or just do garlic bread. But overall, spicy fajita Tuscan shrimp pasta or just spicy vegetable shrimp pasta. I'm not sure what I'll name it, but see y'all in my next video. Bye.